Minneapolis is a battleground, and Somalis are at its center.
You okay?
No.
He's not okay. He's not okay. What happened?
The moment you visibly look like Somali, that is when the harassment starts.
The president has unleashed an onslaught against them.
We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
Now, the most famous Somali American has been attacked, and many Somalis are too scared to leave the house for fear of ICE and far-right hatred.
We should not be shocked when you import a population whose primary occupation is pirate.
Like they think like we don't belong here. They think that we're nothing.
The community is standing up to the government, and they might have just turned the tide against ICE.
I do think that we will reassume our regular life as regular Minnesotans who are just ethnically Somali.
But no one knows when that will be.
Where are they?
Welcome to the front line of neighborhood resistance.
Oh, this one?
I'm with Khalid Mohammed, a Somali American activist who spends his days chasing after ICE to protect his community.
Be careful, you guys. Be careful. You give it enough time.
Despite 2 people being killed by federal agents and minus 20-degree temperatures, these Minneapolis residents have not stopped guarding their neighborhoods.
ICE, aka the kidnappers, are here.
So they suspect this car is ICE because it has no registration car and the windows are completely black. So they're very sure this is ICE. Some of the guys are also saying this could be a distraction. They might be somewhere else and they want to keep the neighbors here.
So some of us will stay, and the rest of you guys, I would ask to patrol the rest of the neighborhood. ICE is here, as you can see, in this white car.
Khalid has been on the front lines of this protest for several weeks. Last month, ICE targeted the Somali neighborhood of Cedar Riverside, known locally as Little Mogadishu. It's near where Khalid lives.
You okay?
No.
He's not okay. He's not okay.
What happened?
They put this spray in his eye.
Tear gas, pepper sprayed, face to face, asked for my documentation. So it has been quite the experience, actually. I never thought that I will be tear gas and pepper sprayed by my own government.
So ICE, as you said, is targeting Somalis.
The moment you visibly look like Somali, that is when the harassment starts.
So being Somali here is a crime?
It's a crime right now, under the federal government, yeah.
80,000 Somalis call Minneapolis home. The vast majority are American citizens or legal residents, but they have been targeted viciously by ICE and the US government. Trump has repeatedly accused the community of fraud, but the case goes back years and involves many different ethnicities. The president rolled out the largest immigration crackdown in American history, Operation Metro Surge, deploying more than 3,000 federal agents with brutal, deadly consequences. And that's meant Somalis are staying home, too afraid to go out. Many Somali schools are shut this week, with families not willing to risk their children being caught up in the battle. Like COVID, kids like Abdulaziz and his younger siblings, Sumaya and Dalha, are back in front of their computers at the kitchen table. Do you miss your friends?
100%. I miss laughing with them, playing around with them, making jokes with them. I also miss the teachers, like how they used to do like fun activities with us, like how they used to take us places.
So ICE agents are very active in Minneapolis. How does that affect you?
It's just like, it's like COVID. It's like COVID, but this time it's not a disease, it's people.
They're spreading around like America, and they're just making America not great anymore. ICE is like, it's like COVID, but just spreading all around Minnesota now.
They're going for everybody. It's not just the Somali community. They killed a white lady, Renee Good. So I don't think it's just us that they're going for. I think it's just going for anybody that they're, what's it called, against, anybody that's against them.
Why do you think Trump is targeting the Somali community?
He's the one that said we should deport all of them. He's the one that said Somalis are trash.
Have you experienced that? Do they say that to you when you're walking on the street?
They say it to a lot of people. In Minneapolis, there's people that are in their, apartments, that are yelling out the N-words and all these slurs to people.
You were all born here, so to you, what does it mean to be an American?
Like being an American is like to be like have your rights and have your freedom and like just have fun in America, and like it's fun to be in America because like there's a lot of fun opportunities to do here.
For me, before it used to mean home. It used to mean like I get to do a lot of stuff here. It feels great. I feel welcome. But now I feel like everybody's hating on me. Like people, like the white people that's supporting Trump and Homeland Security, like they think that we're nothing. Like we're just like wasting space. Like they think like we don't belong here.
That hatred has had a devastating economic impacts too. ICE agents have repeatedly targeted Somali businesses, which is why so many shops in the Caramel Mall are locked up, closed for the foreseeable future. This is the heartbeat of the Somali community. It's where they meet and socialize, it's where they shop, it's where they pray. But look at it now, it's almost empty because people fear ICE. Especially since ICE killed 2 white people. There is a genuine fear that if they killed a white person, they would not hesitate killing a Somali.
We must abolish ICE for good.
And the violent language used by ICE officers is spilled over at an event with the Somali Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. She was speaking at a town hall when a man tried to attack her. As he was wrestled to the floor, she stood her ground.
We're going to keep talking.
Just as Somalis across the city continue to do every day. This mosque is now guarded by locals of all faiths, so the Somalis inside can pray in safety without fear of an immigration raid or far-right attacks.
Do not be afraid. If you are a citizen, do not be afraid. If you're legally here in this country, do not be afraid.
Abdullahi Farah is a community leader. He has watched as the ICE presence has increased, but so too has the local support. How is the community dealing with the ICE agents and Donald Trump's negative comments?
In Minnesota, Minnesota is called Minnesota nice, but I think the hospitable nature of our community as well. We've been here for the last 30 years. The neighbors and co-workers and people know who the Somali community are here. They don't need Donald Trump to tell them who the Somali community or Somali neighbor is.
And it's the neighborhood that's standing up for itself. This is the Isturon Food Bank run by Fortune Wali. In recent weeks, they have been giving out more and more food to those in hiding. And it's not just the Somalis and other Africans they're helping, but Latino families too.
So then it gives them 2.5 weeks of food, so they're not worried about where their next food is going to come from.
Before ICE came here, 300 people came here every week to collect food. Now, it's only 50.
They're scared. So majority of them are either new refugees, green card holders, I-94 holders, even people with passport. And now they're settled, they could be the breadwinner for a whole family. So if ICE comes in and takes them, that's a huge loss for a whole family.
And how are they surviving then?
They're surviving by the community. Our community. It's the neighbors, it's the network of families that we have.
Volunteers like Khalid now deliver food parcels to those Somalis and other families who are too afraid to come here themselves.
Hi.
How are you?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Food delivery?
Yes.
What have you got?
I got some stuff in here. And typically we deliver food to folks that are hiding from ICE.
Do you think this tightness of the Somali community has surprised many others, including ICE agents?
It surprised how quickly the community has mobilized and how they stood right next to each other and supported one another.
Today, he's dropping off some food for a Somali man in hiding. He only arrived a year ago, and if he's caught by ICE, he's worried he will be detained.
legal baad ku joogtaa waanad baqaysaa
waana baqaynaa
in lagu qabto
in
dad sidaadoo kale la qabtay miyaa marka
ها طفوي ها اي لا توين كل قويس ونقرن والله هي الله اعلم لكن حلي كل ما يهوش اي ضمان دونت
وادرس ايدن miyaa marka
انت بان خوض النميت خوض طبيعه
والله هيك meel kan baa lagu hayaa
وكل ما ادو قرر تحسب lagu hayaa qarar wala soo daay
ka waran Soomaalida sa idin caawinayaan la idin ka warqabay
كل ما Soomaalidu way isku tiirsan tahay si fiican bay wax isku qabanayaan inta dhibaataysan waa loo soo gurmanayaa ka waxaysta kaan waxba haysan buu siinayaa ka baqaya isagana waxa ku kii aan baqayn baa wuxuu keenaya marka aad bay isku qarabsanayaan Soomaalidu iyo ajaanibkii kale dhulka ugu nimid Minnesota deganaada.
It sounds like a MAGA nightmare. Instead of sowing division, the arrival of ICE has brought once isolated communities together, and that support is helping keep everyone safe, which should reassure families back home in Somalia.
Well, I'm Somali. I know the community well, and we follow each other whenever something is happening somewhere, thousands of miles away. So what have you been hearing from, family, relatives back home, all over the world?
My phones keep blowing up. Every day when something happens, families back home are really worried. For the first time, they asking us to actually come back. They are pretty much concerned. They actually worry for us, which is actually crazy to think of. Think about.
People in Somalia are telling you to come back home.
Yeah.
And leave America.
It's not safe for you. Imagine that. America is not safe for you right now as a Somali American.
And no one knows more about threats than Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. We met up with her the day after she had been attacked. Like thousands of other Somalis, Ilhan Omar came to America as a young child fleeing the brutal civil war.
It's been really incredible, to watch the way that Somalis have responded in the face of this occupation. The president expected us to be intimidated, for us to be scared, to not feel confident in what our rights are here under the Constitution. But Somalis have met this moment with grit, with humor.
How does that make you feel as a Somali?
I worry for our elders, and people who are, my age or older, who experienced the Civil War, who lived under dictatorship, because this moment is very triggering. And I know that there's a lot of emotions that people are experiencing, and so I do want them to find circles where they have these conversations and find ways to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. With all that's happening, how do you see the future of Somalis in Minnesota?
Yeah, I think once the occupation ends, we go back to being the thriving community that we have always been. Minnesota Somalis are known for being entrepreneurs, for wanting to be part of every segment of society, whether it's being a public servant, being a teacher or a politician, being a nurse or a doctor. And so I do think that we will reassume our regular life as regular Minnesotans who are just ethnically Somali.
Whilst she rose to become a political leader, others like Ali have risen to the highest rank of the police force here in Minnesota.
We'll take one of the squad cars in the back there. Yep.
And there are few who have to balance the identities as a Somali and an American like Ali does.
So I was born in Somalia, and then I left Somalia when I was the age of 4 years old, and my family and I migrated to Kenya, Nairobi, in a refugee camp. And I was in a refugee camp for 4 years. At the age of 8 years old, we had the opportunity to come to America in 1996. I migrated here with my family in Texas, and then from there we journeyed to Minnesota in 1999, and I've been living in Minnesota since then.
The police do not work with ICE, leaving him caught between the federal government clampdown and the population rising up to protect their neighbors.
As we were walking in, you said some people think you're ICE. They were looking and making sure you are not ICE.
Yeah, yep. So they see the uniform. There's a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty within the community. You always try to remind them as Somali officers, you know, we serve the whole community, no matter what ethnicity that you're in. We're there to respond. We don't care about your immigration status. We're not federal agents. We're the Minneapolis Police Department. We have a great chief that supports the minority community and only worries about the public safety of the city.
I have seen this story where a police officer who was, I think, Latino, was stopped by ICE. When you are not in uniform, as a Somali, do you sometimes fear being stopped by ICE?
I do. Just like the individuals that call me from the community, the same advice I give them, even if they're legal citizens here. A lot of them carry their paperwork, whether it's their passport or a passport ID. That fear is real.
Somali Americans have called Minnesota their home from home for the past 3 decades. They are fully integrated into the community here. There are politicians, police officers, and business owners. Now, Trump's immigration crackdown has shown them another side of the American dream. But it's a dream that they are not prepared to give up without a fight. And that was on show outside this hotel, where protesters suspect ICE officers are staying.
I'm proud to call myself a Minnesotan because this is what true Minnesota looks like. It doesn't matter what you look like, where you came from, what religion you practice. At the end of the day, we're all Minnesotans, and this is what it looks like to show up as a Minnesotan for your fellow Minnesotans, for your fellow neighbors, for your fellow brothers and sisters that are resisting ICE.
Are you hopeful about the future?
Yes, so I'm very hopeful, yeah. I'm extremely proud of my fellow Minnesotans, and yeah, I'm glad to call Minnesota home.
For years, Somalis have been caught between two worlds, their Somali heritage and their new American identity. But this crisis has shown that despite being in a country where the president and administration demonizes them, their city has embraced them, and where the residents are prepared to defend them.